Eyes I dare not meet in dreams, in that dream kingdom. These do not appear. There, the eyes are. Sunlight on a broken column. There is a tree swinging, and voices are in the wind singing, more distant and more solemn than a fading star. Look Outside is a game about isolation, but it's also about humanity. As a literary figure, isolation can be a means of self-exploration. You can be isolated from your surroundings and learn more about yourself and what you want out of something. But if said isolation is a result of strong feelings towards others, mental health issues, or a lack of a support chain, then it can lead to unforeseen circumstances. After all, social isolation is an experience shared by 16% of people worldwide. Is it like this, in Death's other kingdom, waking alone at the hour when we are, trembling with tenderness, lips that will kiss, form prayers to broken stone? The universe is bigger than we think, but so is humanity. Look Outside is a 2025 survival horror game created by Francis Colon. We play as Sam, an everyday guy whose life is a little boring. He doesn't have a job or much of anything to look forward to due to circumstances in his life. To make matters worse, there is something in the sky that makes people mutate into wacky things that may or may not want to kill him. It's okay though, his neighbor, who talks to him through a hole in the wall, says it will pass in around 15 days, give or take. Your role as Sam is to choose whether to explore the outside or remain cooped inside your little apartment, surviving on whatever you can loot from other places until it all goes away. You can choose to help others or just help yourself. However, the game pushes you to meet people and do various quests to get to know them. You make choices as Sam that can affect gameplay or just change minor aspects of the story. Sam, however, is his own character. He has thoughts, opinions, dreams, and reflections of life. Okay, so we are getting into spoilery territory. If you haven't played the game, I do recommend that you play it if you like horror games. It is a very good game. Your neighbor Sibyl. She will look into your apartment through a hole in the wall. At first, she will tell you to look outside, discussing a game over you fall through. But if you talk to her again, she will say she was confused and not to look outside since it's dangerous. Throughout the game, on every new day after you go to sleep, she will have some new dialogue to share. And you can see that her mind's not all there. She is forgetful and spaces out a lot. Sibyl chooses to remain inside her apartment, thus remaining without contact of the outside, and you become her only source of information. Sam can go out and make a team of people to help him fight and get resources. Some are silly, while others are a little more unhinged, but they all seem to be trying to survive in their own ways. As you travel through the apartment building and reach the parking lot, or certain other areas depending on your playthrough, there is a door that can be opened to discover a mid-world. Yes, a mid-world. Here you will find several monsters that look like human organs. You can feed them, but they don't really die. It says like, oh, wait 16 hours and they will come back or something like that. The mid-world is a reflection of the apartment building itself. It has floors, areas, bosses and whatnot, but if you don't know what you're looking for, then it's just a maze without a purpose. Now, there is a cult of astronomers who want to communicate with the visitors, which is whatever the heck is up there in the sky causing all those funky mutations. For that, they need 4 items which depict the visitor. You can get them in different floors, and you can also mess up which items you provide to uncover different endings. And the game has a lot of endings. Since it is still being updated every now and then, I'm unsure if more will show up in the future. But they go from everything dies to anime is real, which is great. However, the two endings that I like the most and consider to be the best ones are the ones where you complete a ritual and meet the visitor, and the one where you meet Sybil in person. More on that later. The eyes are not here. There are no eyes here, in this valley of dying stars. Sam is, from the very beginning and through dialogue exposition, shown to be a solitary person. He has little to no friends, no job, no hobbies, etc. Sure, he has a plant and a computer and a video game console, but when you check each of the items, it shows he doesn't really take care of the plant, the computer is just used for doom scrolling, and he hasn't played any of his video games in years. This is a person isolated from the outside world. We don't know if Sam chose to be there. I don't think any of us chooses anything that happens in life. You can make choices here and there, and it's definitely important that you do. But ultimately, we are at the mercy of chaos. As Sam, you can definitely decide to stay inside your apartment, but you will find yourself bored out of your mind trying to find ways to pass the time. I tried. And eventually, Sam will become depressed, lonely, and bored. These are actual conditions in the game, by the way. So, the game pushes you to go outside the apartment, figure out what's going on. Sam was isolated but took the choice to reach out, help others, become a stronger person than he was before. He will parent many recently orphaned children, showing compassion and love to them. He will offer a hand to many people who had already given up, providing friendship and determination. He will allow a pair of punks to expropriate him from his room. He will face his clown fears, and he will meet hot singles in his area. Anyway, he steps up, and it is thanks to him that humanity can thrive in the good endings, because he decided to form connections and not turn his back to the world despite the chaos. Sybil, on the other hand, will remain in her room. She is a foil to Sam's call of action, until she isn't. A foil is usually a character who acts as a contrast to another character, usually differentiating between the two while still comparing them to a deeper meaning. There's plenty of ways that a foil can be used, and here the foil is Sybil. Sybil knows a secret. She is an astronomer who started investigating the disappearance of a patch of stars from the sky. While doing so, she caught the attention of something, the visitor. She's the reason the visitor came to Earth. Now, Sybil didn't just caught the visitor one day and that was it, no. It took months of investigation, research, note-taking. 3 weeks before the game starts, she found out that the visitor was moving towards Earth. In several endings, Sybil's room will be a hole in the wall after the visitor leaves, which means it takes her when departing. The ending will mention it being a mystery. Why was she taken? Why was she so important as to disappear with it? Well, you see, Sybil discovered a truth that could destroy the world as we know it and hid it from her friends. She decided to damage her own mind in order to forget this, and thus protect not only her loved ones but also Earth. Nonetheless, by doing this, she still doesn't save anyone. It is until Sam takes action that her own actions become meaningful. Sybil is a foil, but not to Sam's call, but rather to his own personality. She was surrounded by friends, but chose to part from them to protect them. Sam had no friends, but through reaching out and sharing the burden of survival, he ends up with meaningful relationships. Doesn't matter if you're protecting others if they don't know you are or why you are doing it. If a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? This wasn't my body, and now it is. In the Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, Gregor, a salesman, starts transforming into a kind of insect. As you do, he notices it one morning and thinks, oh, this may be something temporary. It is not. As time goes by, his condition gets worse and his family cares not really for it. He was the sole breadwinner of the household, and without him they have to get jobs and take care of him. Ultimately, he becomes a full buck, and seeing how his condition has affected his family, he decides to die for them. His family barely acknowledges it and sees his death as a blessing, even celebrating it. So Gregor sacrifices himself for his family when they care not for him at all. Like Gregor, Sybil transforms into something that cannot go back to current society. Unlike Gregor, Sybil had people who care deeply about her. Her own metamorphosis takes her to a role of an spectator rather than an actor. She made her choices and has to live with those consequences. Except she didn't really choose to meet the visitor or get attention. She was just doing her job. She was not chosen, she was not special. She was just there until everything changed. Sybil is, for the lack of a better word, the perfect scapegoat for the situation. She brought the visitor by accident. She started mutating before anyone else, and her body is intrinsically connected to the apartment building itself. Like for real, her body is the building to a point. Midworld? Oh yeah, that's her. Her friends think she's just a mass of skin and tendrils left over in her old apartment, but her body kept expanding and making copies of herself to keep her alive. She is self-conscious about her actions and her choices. Her friend Jasper will talk about her with fondness and will mention how capable she was. Sybil used to be in the floor below ours, but now she's next door. Sam and Sybil meet out of pure sheer luck, but it is thanks to Sam's choice of reaching out that something comes out of this meeting. Sam can explore her old apartments, can find her notes, discover her inventions. He can even uncover her secret with terrible consequences. It is through both of their actions that we can explore each possibility of this story. For Tiny's, life is. For Tiny is that. This is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but a whimper. The visitor is the antagonist of Look Outside. It is not a force of evil, but with it came terrible things. The nature of the visitor is that it changes things that it observes. Its perception of what surrounds it will affect that in itself. It is beyond human comprehension. Beyond living things, it is what it is, and it is alone out there. In a sense, the visitor is everything, but it is also just it. Before its meeting with Sam, it did not think, did not perceive, it just existed. The visitor has no concept of the universe as being something other than itself. It is older than anything that can be preconceived. It is all, and it is not. And it can feel remorse, it can feel pain and anger, but only if it's capable of perceiving it that way. In two endings, we are told about the powers of the visitor in an indirect manner. Sybil's secret, the information that could end the world, is that the visitor being everything, including Earth and humans. Humanity is just a fragment of the visitor. And when we remember that, what we are, we'll become one, because we believe we are one. In the anime's real ending, Sam attacks the visitor with a power he learned from playing a video game. When the visitor perceives this belief that Sam has that the game is real and it can be defeated as a great evil, it becomes that great evil, and the world becomes anime. It is through perception which we understand the world around us, and it is through community that we give meaning to our societies. The visitor is alone, but a part of itself is full of life. Look Outside gives us a view of humanity in an apocalyptic situation, and instead of going for the dystopian outlook, we get to see how just being a human being and sharing that with others can move society forward. In the good endings, humanity manages to come back from the horrors done by the visitor. Not 100%, but we make it work. Sometimes it's with Sam's help or with other beings' help, but it's always through community, through love. Seeing destruction and choosing kindness instead of despair. There is no specific conclusion to this. I believe Sam and Sybil did what they could with the situations they had. Rejecting isolation to help others shows that Sam is capable of forming connections despite his previous ways. Such is the nature of humanity. While Sybil's self-imposed isolation creates a path of opportunity for others to do the work and save what's left of Earth. Also, you can make roaches have democracy, which is kind of cool. There are many characters in the game that I love, many with complex lives, thoughts, and feelings. You could make a full video talking about each of them. It is not easy to create a world as full as Look Outside, and I commend Francis Colon and the team behind it. Let me know if you have any thoughts about these in the comments. I will try to make a few more videos like this, where I just talk about themes I enjoy in creative works. They do take more time to make, so bear with me. As always, be kind, be mindful, love with all your heart, and remember, your choices matter. Goodbye.